Once again, the dump divers in the WNBA are getting exactly what they wanted, but not what they needed. Once again, the dump divers are getting exactly what they thought they deserved. Key word there, thought. The ladies in the WNBA, they're a demanding group of women and Bob Griner. The dump divers are always making these unreasonable demands. I want more money. We're entitled to be millionaires. Don't you see the name on the back of my jersey? It says anonymous. I am a huge star. WNBA players are demanding raises, even though the league is losing money faster than a struggling cable news network. And at this point, you can just take your pick. CNN, MSNBC, News Nation, home of Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. All of these polished turds are losing money. Hell, in the 30 years of their existence, the WNBA, they've never actually made money. Yet for some reason, the employees feel like they are entitled to their minimum wage being raised, and do not be surprised if that is exactly what they get. Earlier in the season, WNBA players, they were demanding chartered flights. We're flying first class, up in the sky, drinking champagne that we didn't buy. Initially, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she pushed back, she resisted. She tried to explain to her naive players how business actually works. Ladies, I know you want private airfare. I know you're tired of people approaching you in airports and asking where the nearest receptacle is, but we just can't afford it. We don't have the money. Hell, we don't have any money. We're broke. On average, the WNBA loses around $10 million every year. Chartered flights cost the league around $20 million a year. Now, I'm no Pythagoras, but after calculating these numbers, I'm coming up with a potential $30 million loss for the dump. Now, to their credit, the ambitious ladies in the WNBA, they knew they could do better than that. Instead of losing $30 million this season, they decided to lose $40 million. But once again, they got what they wanted and they received chartered flights throughout the season. Another thing that jealous players demanded in the WNBA this past season, it was credit. Well, KC, did they demand a black card from American Express? Are you insane? There is not a bank in this country that is lending credit to WNBA players. Now, they'll extend credit to college students. They'll extend credit to 18-year-old kids who have no chance of paying it back in the short term. But there is not a bank in this country that is extending credit to the minimum wage earners in the WNBA, because the bank knows they have no chance of paying their debts long term. Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that she was elevating the dump. Veteran dump divers, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity. They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Caitlin Clark. Well, now, jealous WNBA players will have the opportunity to earn that credit. Now, players like Angel Reese, they will be given the chance to test their star power, because the Great White Hope, the only chance that Unrivaled had to succeed, the only way that people would actually watch this new league, yesterday afternoon, Caitlin Clark, she officially rejected their offer. Caitlin Clark essentially told Unrivaled, "You're on your own. Good luck making it without me." If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. This morning on the second channel, we talked about courageous high school girls in the People's Republic of California taking a stand. They forfeited a playoff game because they refuse to compete against a former male birthing person. Also, if you haven't cast your vote for my personal nominee for the upcoming Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards, head over to the community tab here on YouTube and place your vote. If you want to nominate someone for the HEF Awards yourself, shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I appreciate all you guys who have sent your submissions already. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'll be taking your nominations for the next couple of weeks, and we'll be hosting the HEF Awards here in December. Yesterday afternoon, ESPN reported that Caitlin Clark has officially rejected the generous offer from jealous WNBA players to join their new league, Unrivaled. Now, for those of you that don't know, Unrivaled is a new 3-on-3 pretend basketball league that's going to be starting here in January. The league is financially backed by TNT in what I believe could be an attempt by TNT to get back at the NBA by destroying the WNBA. Unrivaled, though, they offered Caitlin Clark $1 million for 2 months worth of work. $1 million. Now, that's $925,000 more than she is making in the WNBA dump. Unrivaled also offered Katie Rue ownership in their new dump. Now, many believe that players like Breanna Stewart and Afisha Collier, they were willing to put their personal feelings aside to invite Caitlin Clark to join their league. But I've got a feeling that TNT made this demand hoping they would receive a return on their investment. Because without Caitlin Clark, this league is in deep shit. Listen to some of these stars that are going to be playing for Unrivaled. There are 6 teams in the league filled with unknown names and anonymous faces. When I was looking at the rosters yesterday, I thought I was looking at the roster for the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces, the back-to-back winners of the Golden Toilet in the WNBA. Check out these names: Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Chelsea Gray, Ryan Howard, Jordan Canada. And who? Who in the hell are these people? Is this a basketball team, or am I looking at the employee schedule at the Piggly Wiggly? There's even a player named Wildcard on the roster. Well, KC, I think that's just an open roster spot. Oh, well, in my defense, you just never know how these pretend basketball players are choosing to identify. I just assumed that Wildcard was choosing to identify as the opening round in the NFL playoffs. Now, there are a couple of recognizable names on this list. And by a couple, I mean literally 2. I'm sure everyone will recognize the name Bob Griner. A couple of years ago, Bob Griner became famous for her vacation with Vlad Pooter. She was trying to sneak her friends Cheech and Chong past airport security. They confiscated her friends at the border along with 10 months of her freedom. Now, the other recognizable name on the roster, Angel Reese, who has got to be absolutely terrified. It is not going to be a good Christmas for the villainous Angel. For the better part of 3 years, Angel Reese has been shining off of the spotlight that was provided by Caitlin Clark. Without a doubt, Angel Reese is the biggest star in this new league. Hell, she is the only star with Unrivaled. There is not another player in this league capable of drawing a mainstream fly to this unknown turd. Whether it's fair or not, the success or the failure of this league, it is going to be directly tied to Angel Reese. Does Angel have enough drawing power to capture mainstream interest? Are there enough lonely men who are willing to take a break from looking at her bikini pictures to watch her airball layups? My prediction is no. Why? Well, the best way to predict the future is to look at the past. When Angel Reese was playing professional basketball at LSU, she wasn't drawing crowds on the road. Well, Casey, that's not fair. You should only judge the drawing power of a star by how they perform at home. Okay, that's fine, because Angel Reese, she wasn't selling out home games either. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, she sold out every arena that she was playing in. There were multiple times this season where the WNBA had to move road games out of high school gyms into actual NBA arenas to accommodate the crowds that were coming to see Caitlin Clark. The most watched games on television this season involved Caitlin Clark. The only reason, and I mean the only reason, that people were actually paying attention to the WNBA this season was because of Caitlin Clark, which is the reason that TNT was willing to break the bank to bring her to Unrivaled. These other players, they were supposed to be the co-stars. Hell, most of them, they were just supposed to be extras. I highly doubt TNT was investing in this league thinking that Rakea Jackson would draw millions of viewers. If I had to guess, the main reason that TNT invested in Unrivaled, they were hoping that the money would be enough to convince Caitlin Clark to play. Unfortunately, though, for TNT, Caitlin Clark said thanks, but no thanks. Now, there's a lot of speculation as to why Caitlin Clark rejected this offer. Most in the media, they are claiming that she just needed a break from basketball, which is probably true. That's probably part of it. Caitlin Clark went from carrying college basketball for 2 years to carrying the entire WNBA. There was no break. Her season ended at Iowa and she was immediately drafted into the dump. I'm sure part of her reasoning for rejecting Unrivaled is to not only get a break from basketball, but to also get a break from the mainstream spotlight. But I think the main reason, and this is pure speculation on my part, but I think the main reason that Caitlin Clark rejected Unrivaled, she is sending a clear message to jealous players in the WNBA. And that message is, good luck without me. Good luck drawing a mainstream audience without me. Think about it. She has been putting up with their shit since she was at Iowa. The media tried to credit Angel Reese and Paige Buckner for the success of women's college basketball. Well, Casey, what about Juju at USC? Who? Who in the Rudy Poo is Juju? Are you talking about Juju Smith-Schuster? Last I checked, he was playing for the Chiefs in the NFL. Caitlin Clark gets to the WNBA, she elevates the entire league. And once again, the media tries to give the credit to everyone else. If you're Caitlin Clark, why in the hell would you put yourself through that again? Why in the hell would you elevate another league while anonymous players get all the credit from the media? Once again, WNBA players are getting exactly what they wanted. Here is your chance to prove that you can make it without Caitlin Clark. Here is your chance to prove that you're all stars instead of the reality, which is you're in the spotlight of the real star. Question is, will they be able to do it? Can Unrivaled succeed? Can they draw an audience without Caitlin Clark? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.